What's going on, everybody?
Come on, get close. That's right.
All right, there you go.
Hey,
Everybody in? Everybody in? All right. What's good, everybody? Welcome to Mick on the Move Live with everybody's favorite co-host, Kessa, baby. Y'all, we here. We in the house.
We in the house.
We are in the house, y'all. Yes. All right, we're here to continue the part 2, episode 2 discussion of Black women stop dating until you've done the work to heal yourselves. One thing before we get started. Ladies, you all have literally ran up the numbers.
Run them up, run them up.
Y'all literally ran up the numbers. 700 views in 24 hours?
Yes.
700 views in 24 hours?
That's how y'all feel.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But that came in part due to you all's transparency, and I appreciate that. Your courageous abilities to come in and just speak openly. So I appreciate that. Thank you to the host, Kessa, baby, who's making sure that everything ran smooth.
My pleasure.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I'm going to get out your way. And these ladies are going to... Bye.
See you later.
And these ladies are going to continue their topic on Black women stop dating until you've done the work to heal yourselves. Episode 2.
Yes.
All right, so I'll see y'all in a few.
All right. We love you.
All right, love y'all.
All right. What's up, ladies? Hey. Not today. Okay. My friend. Okay, good. All right, y'all. Y'all happy to be here? I'm happy to see y'all. We had a little break last week. We had a holiday. We had a whole lot of things happening last week. We're back. Yes, better than we was before. Prayerfully. All right, so we're going to jump right on in. Y'all ready?
Let's go.
How's everybody feel? How's everybody doing? Anybody need anything? Water? A nature break? Okay.
I'm doing great.
Good. Yes. All right, so we're going to jump in. Do you feel like there is a level of pressure placed on you to be married, to be or being married, or in a committed relationship? Do you feel like there's a level of pressure placed on you from society or anybody to be married or in a committed relationship?
I would say yes, to a certain degree.
Okay.
I think that sometimes we put that pressure on ourselves because of society, and then when we don't make that mark, it's like everybody else around us, that's their ideal of what the American dream is. That's part of the American dream, and so I think that it can put pressure on us from ourselves as well as society. But I think it's just more about understanding who you are and what you want, and not trying to fit into what other people want for you. Because I've been married before, and it wasn't ideally. I probably shouldn't have done it. But at that time, I felt like that was my way of staying within the realms of my religion. And I didn't really think about the person and growing with that person.
You felt like it might have been what you were supposed to do?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, I'm not saying that people shouldn't aspire to get married and all those things, but I think it's more about what you want and not just about pleasing other people and what society thinks that you should do.
Mm.
I agree.
Thank you, Chanel. Sorry.
Thank you.
We listened to you. Baby.
Yeah, I wanted to actually ditto that because it is something within my family from a religious perspective for the expectation to be you get married, So I went through my first ever bout of depression before I turned 30 because my plan was to be married, to have the picket fence, to, buy a house. So the things that I didn't accomplish, first being marriage, wanted my grandfather to marry me. My grandmother's married, but my grandfather walked me down the aisle. When my grandfather passed away, it was just like, what's the point of me getting married again? You know, I reevaluated why I wanted to get married. And I am truly in a place now where when that person comes, like I'm not looking for a ring on my finger. I don't want to get married. I don't want to traditionally say these vows that is placed upon us that, you know, doesn't give us the room to move and grow as we should. You know, something personal that I'm dealing with my you know, not the I gotta remember we on here, we getting views.
You know what I'm saying? Like what she saying? What she talking about?
A family member, you know, they've been married for some time now and they are reevaluating what they want in life. And I encourage that. You know, just because you have spent more than 20 years with somebody does not mean y'all not on the same page, y'all not even in the same book no more. You know, so when it comes to outlawing somebody, what do? You are in this contract to be with someone because, you know, what you gonna do, go to hell if you know if you not feeling
You
this
in
person
hell.
exactly.
You already in hell.
So the pressure of marrying someone, absolutely, it comes from society, it comes from family, it comes from your girlfriends, those that still want to have a marriage or want to have a husband. You know, it comes from a lot of different places. When you're at weddings, it's like all the single ladies coming up and who's going to be the next one to get the bouquet so you can get married. It's just this whole cycle of other people's image and expectation of us as women. So, yeah.
I was looking at my senior memory book and I put on there, I'm going to be married by like 25, have a house with 2-car garage. And it was like,
Girl playing MASH.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that joint? This who you married to.
expectations. But a lot of it we do on ourselves. But now, like, I'm glad my parents didn't like put those pressures on me. So I just be doing me. But when I'm talking to like friends who are married, I'm like, "Ooh, you having a time over there, huh? You having a time." If I'm still healing and then I'm 50, that's when I get married, y'all. I'm gonna invite y'all to
That part. And you know what? We're gonna probably turn up way better than he was at 25.
Exactly.
So I've never really had that expectation. Like, not even as growing up as a kid. Like, it never was like, oh, I want to be married or, you know, play marriage with your dolls and all that. Like, a family member of mine was married 3 times, right? So me growing up, I'm kind of like, no, that's not what I want to do. I just want to do it once, and if it ain't right, then I'm not going to keep going. So it never was like a whole big thing of like, you know, I wanted or like that was the expectation of mine to be married by a certain age or do this by a certain age. If it happened, it happened. If it don't, it don't.
I feel you. Lisa, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, well, I am married, and I wasn't no pressure from my family saying like you need to get married, married. But I would definitely say they just encouraged me to just be happy and whatever you're doing.
Yep.
But we did get married. But moving forward, as far as feeling pressured, then being married, the only thing I say the pressure that I feel that I did feel in the beginning is trying to have that perfect marriage that you hear on movies and stories.
Who wants that perfect
Got it,
love
like,
story?
grown up,
Cliche.
But as time went on, you just gotta say
Another one.
what's your perfect marriage as you are together, not what the world think is perfect and what works for my household.
Oh, I love that, Lisa.
So that's the only pressure I felt at the beginning. But then as you went in and y'all learn each other, y'all growing, y'all maturing, and you say, hey, this may not work for them, but this is working for us and we all right with it. So
Yep. I like that. I'm so happy you're here. I definitely wanted to have a married woman panel, not to knock any of us for being single, but I didn't know that you were divorced, right? And I actually think that, like, I always ask a lot of Black men, especially, like, what did you learn from your divorce? I always ask them that because I like to just hear what they have to say.
Right.
So I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate both of you, everybody, of course, but sharing from that perspective, because I do think it is good people to hear that I tried it and failed, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with waiting. I'm okay with doing it again. I'm okay with not doing it again. I'm okay with not doing it at all. You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate that. And then Lisa, you're like, I had to figure out what works for me. And I think that's for everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like you said, what you want it to be is what it will be. And if you got somebody who's willing to do the same, y'all can save the world. You know what I mean? I'm a dreamer like that. So I'll be like, oh, well, let's go heal everybody. Let's go show how much Black love is amazing. You know, like, but I do appreciate all perspectives because I think that like we've all experienced different facets of it. It don't always look sweet. It ain't sweet all the time.
No.
And then you look at them like, oh, that's what you're going through. You know, so I get it.
But I think realistically, whether you're married or in a relationship, you're two different people.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna go through different phases.
Yep.
And, you know,
Life
it could
happens.
be work, it could be it could be all kinds of variables
Yep.
that could cause friction. So to go into something and expect that this person is gonna do everything I want them to do when I say it, who wants that?
Right.
Like
Right.
that's not a relationship.
Even that is your perspective of what a wife is.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That part.
because when we figure out that we're not responsible for the next person's happiness, whether that's a spouse, a child, a parent, we're not responsible for their happiness. It is on us to be responsible and be whole to be that person
But
for
that's
them.
Yes.
Exactly.
That
It
is
definitely does.
But that's where that whole piece comes from. You can't love somebody else till you're able to love yourself. At least not in a healthy way. Not in a healthy way. And I think that sometimes we do have to just take that journey. I literally just said the other day that who wants to be in something that's just fucked up? Like, who want to lay next to a you don't fuck with? Like, what? Married or not married?
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Who wants to do
right.
that? And I just feel like, you know, for me, if I was married and that was where we were, I would have a time frame for when I would have to remove myself for what marriage means to me.
Or make
I don't-
adjustments.
Exactly. But I also hear when somebody don't have the same mindset as you, or y'all not looking for the same thing, or you don't value the same thing, then what are you doing? You're wasting time. Wasting time. Like, but like you said, if somebody feels like they good with just some short shit, then they good with some short shit. Who am I to tell you that your short shit ain't? Like they say, bees don't be spending their time trying to convince flies that honey is better than shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If that's your thing, that's your thing. You like shit, knock yourself out. I like this honey over here. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like, you know, when you find somebody who you do have though, and it takes time because like you said, you gotta know who you are to even know what you want out of another person or need from another person, and like another not taking shit personal. Because people gonna go through their stuff, and we do try to like you want to love people and love on them and heal them when you love them, but you cannot make somebody else's happiness your personal responsibility. Because some people are committed to just being unhappy. That's what they're used to. People will sit in their shit because that's what they know.
Or they don't know how to get out.
That too.
I mean, you know,
They know this is what they know. I don't know how to get out because I've never seen it happen.
and we kind of spoke about that last, just our childhood and what we grew up seeing.
Yeah.
You know, not being exposed to different things. It's like, yeah, you know that there's a beach in another country, but all you know is, what's the name of that beach around here? That.
Oh God.
So I'm just
I hate I know. I hate any beach on the Chesapeake. But when you need to like, they was doing the best that they could.
Right.
Then they like, look, we not about to drive 3 to 5 hours away for the beach. We gonna go right down 50. Davey Ruffin was just talking about that. He said, why they used to take us here? I hate Sandy Point, but I was at this place called Rocky Point over the weekend up in Essex, and it was nice. But yeah, I get though. Sandy Point, you like who? What's Sandy Point when you been to the Bahamas or you been to the Caribbean? So I get it. I get it. Yeah. I like Ocean. I love Virginia Beach. I like Ocean City. I like Myrtle Beach. I need to get the Outer Banks and Hilton Head. Both of them. I ain't never been there.
Gotta take that ride.
I know, right?
Right.
Anything over 7 hours these days, it's like, can we just fly?
Anything over 2 is fine.
You like, listen, Richmond, no.
2.5.
So yeah, no, I feel you. You're right. You don't know what you don't know. But I feel like sometimes if it's in you, like if it's what you want in your heart, you know, you kind of have like, at least let me speak for myself, I guess. I feel like I have an inkling of how to get to what I want.
Right.
It's just whether or not I'm gonna have the strength and the discipline to keep moving in that direction until I receive what I want.
That's true.
You know, because when we don't learn the lesson, we'll go right back through the shit.
Yeah.
And God's faithful, and then He'll take you back through it again.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like until you kind of conquer that shit like a grade level. It's like the school of life.
Yeah.
You move up to you're like, oh shit, I done came a little ways.
Mhm.
But you know what I'm saying? That's that mentality. And then it's like you hope that, because I agree with you, like people can be together for 20 years. If you grow apart, you grow apart.
But that's
But
what
then
you
at
have
that
to
point you
release
get
that.
comfortable.
Yeah, they don't want to change.
Exactly.
They don't want to change.
And
Yes.
but you also develop an ownership of another person.
That's possible. Yeah,
Like, you
that's
know what I'm saying?
possible.
He's my husband. You know what I'm saying? You're not
Mhm.
allowing that husband to be him as an individual.
Mhm.
You know, or even it's like it's so toxic to have somebody else's image of what you should be or what somebody should be
Right.
to you.
Or try to control. People like to have that control. For whatever reason, people find peace in controlling things.
Titles.
I'm coming away from that more and more. I feel like I'm realizing. I didn't realize how much stuff I may try to control just subconsciously. I'm like, I'm not trying to control it, but I realized like maybe I am to some extent where I have to be okay with kind of being like, okay, this is where the boundary needs to be set, and kind of staying within that boundary. You know what I mean? But I do. Some people, to control another human, I want you to love me because you love me.
Right.
I don't want to control you to love me. Oh, well, if you do this, then I'm going to do this. And if you do that, then I'm going to take your kid, or I'm going to sue your ass. I'm going, you know, like, people turn on people so quickly. Change is inevitable. And you can't grow without changing. You know what I'm saying?
So if you with somebody that's not willing to, again, turn that page with you
Yeah.
and stay on the same page together for however
Yeah.
long. And even when we have these examples, my grandparents were married for 60 plus years. So for that to be my example, it really was pressure like, okay, I got to get married at this age so I can be married long.
Right.
Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it was so much that came with the pressure, but all that my grandmother had to go through.
Mm.
And even speaking to her after my grandfather's passing, for her to open up and hear a little bit more about the things that she's had to go through with a wife of 60-something years, you know, who's had to endure breast cancer because her heart has been broken so many times from this man that she feel like she cannot go anywhere from.
Mm.
You know, like we have to understand that these women that came before us, they did it a totally different way, and we don't have to do it the way that
They did it for us. It's like
They
Jesus
did
on the
it for
cross.
us, exactly.
He took the sacrifice. Grandma did that already. We don't have to do that.
We the ones to do it different.
Yes.
If anybody's to do it
She lived that. She went through that fucking shit, so I don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
But kudos to those that
That-
are able to
yes.
live a married life and live it differently outside of the perspective of what others think is perfect.
Yep.
You know, are you this and are you that? And you check all these boxes off in your marriage to make it perfect.
Yeah.
Like, no, you go against whatever your rules are in your household, and that's what makes your marriage perfect. So I love to see that, and even in married couples that don't feel like they're a burden to the other to the person in the relationship. Like, it should be a joy for you to walk around and say you married.
Yes.
You know, like, not to say I don't want to have a commitment with someone, because I love love, and I love being in love. It's a part of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
But when I say I don't want to get married, I'm talking about the conventional, traditional vows in a church where people are there to witness you. You know, all of this theatrics. You know, I'll probably have a commitment ceremony of some sort where everybody comes in with no shoes on, like just everything against the odds. But I just feel like today's day and time, marriage is not even respected as it was before. The union is not even respected.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
I'll keep on.
You got people that will target. You got people that target married people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People who target married people. It's just
Yes,
you.
yes, that part. So you can send them back home to their wife or their husband, respectfully.
Yeah.
I know,
There's
like it's
people out here
crazy.
like
I've
that.
said it's been an example from all fronts for somebody to literally go after a married man for that purpose to send him back home to his wife. Whew. Where are we as women?
Yeah, like the whole point of us being here. A lot of that, like you said, it just shows where that person is with who they are within themselves.
Yep.
You know
Heal
what I'm
yourself.
Just stop dating until you've done the work.
Exactly.
And it's not saying stop dating like don't have fun, don't go out, don't date, but don't exchange your soul with someone or have a commitment with somebody until you are whole.
Yes.
That's what I get from this.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
that's what I feel like we're advocating or normalizing a conversation around. Sis, it's okay to do some healing before you commit to another man.
Yeah.
You know, in between time, you can do some healing and some self-reflection.
Right.
But
Right. No, I feel you 100%. It's a lot, but we all probably know people our age that have been divorced. You know, got married. I had a friend that I knew got married because that's what she even said. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, you are not ready. You are not ready. 6 years later, she was divorced. You know what I'm saying? And they were together through high school and all types of shit. When you're not ready or it's not your person, it's just not what it is. And people jump into stuff to fill those voids in their lives. And when that person stops filling that void, they out the door. Or they trying to find another way to feed the fix. And then you just keep chasing that. You just keep chasing that. And you never fulfill it because the issue is you. Or whatever you need to deal with is going on inside of you.
Some people go from person to person because they fear being alone.
Yeah. That's sad. That's the part that's I really feel like, and I think we all probably been there. We've all been there.
They fear being alone, like taking the time to heal yourself. But how are you taking the time to heal yourself if you dealing with this person? Okay, that didn't work out. Then I go to the next person. What have you learned
From
from the last
relationship? Yes, probably nothing because you just drown yourself another one.
And they're not trying to learn anything.
Right.
They're not even aware that they should be learning something.
Well, let me think about what I could have done better.
Yeah.
No,
just
it's true.
next.
Very true. Very true. There is, and I think that from every relationship, whether it be a love relationship, a friendship, family members, I do think that you learn lessons from all of them. And some of us go through stuff so our friends and family don't have to. I mean, we're talking about our grandparents. If my friend went through something that taught me something, I'm like, you know what? I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So, okay, I'm gonna take this from you. That's none of this is supposed to be in vain. You know, we all supposed to be able to take something from it and apply the lesson. But people are constantly running from their shit. It's sad. It's sad, you know. And we all got shit. It never ends. It never ends. But the more that we're trying to push through it, you tend to attract exactly what you are. You know. So somebody's working out over there. Who baby is that? So anything else? I think everybody's all right there. Good. All right, let's move on to the next one. Y'all got anything else? Y'all, ladies, y'all. Lavina's in the house. Tia's in the house. Yes. Y'all got anything y'all want to add?
I'm just listening, taking a little more.
Okay.
You shut the door.
Who baby is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. We don't know. They don't see upstairs. Oh, well, whose little dog is that? Why didn't he do? See, good? Okay. How's your baby? He's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, y'all. Next question is, what has been the biggest misconception placed on you or Black women in the realm of dating? This is funny. What do you think has been the biggest misconception about us when it comes to dating?
I could say money.
What about money?
Like how males think every female just wants your money.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
You gotta take me out and you gotta take me to a high level restaurant.
Oh.
Or like you always gotta fly me out, do this and all that.
Fly me out.
Oh,
Damn.
they really be there.
Child, I need one of them. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm playing. I mean, shit, we can go to Popeyes. No, I'm playing. I do like nice things. But yeah, but I feel like if a chick coming at a dude off something like, well, you gotta take me here and take me there, it's like, boy, you already knew that when you was going into that. You know what I mean? But I feel you. Because I when it comes to money, I will say also, sometimes being a professional too, for me with money, I feel like sometimes dudes think that, well, this hasn't happened recently, but y'all might not feel it, but I'm gonna put it out there. Because these ninjas be on, so you know what? Years ago, like when I first kind of like came out of a long relationship, I would go out with guys and they expected me to pay. I'm not lying to you.
I've been there.
Pay the bill. Pay the bill. When I say expect, I'm not saying like, it's like it was kind of played around. Often.
Like you got the bill.
Often. And so it's to a point where I stopped telling people what I did. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, okay, well clearly they must think that like I'm just out here buying niggas. Like we don't do that. We don't do that at all.
Right.
So I was like, but I mean there are females out here, I guess, that do that. They, be buying.
Yes, there are.
Excuse me? No, just one.
There are.
Not her. But I'm just saying, like, I remember that happening to me a lot. And I was just like, and it was trying to be played off like it was something, like it was a joke or whatever. And I'm like, and it was happening way too much. Like I said, I just stopped telling people what I did. And like, let them pick through or whatever. But it was kind of like, as soon as they know you got your own shit or you take care of yourself, or it's like, now it's like, what can I try to get her to do for me? Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm glad you said it hasn't happened in a while, because that
I know.
It's like, why am I attracting this type of person?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
It had to be a.
But that's why I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't say. But in conversation, as a professional, you meet motherfuckers every day. Mm-hmm. Tell them your name and what you do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes in just general conversation, it seemed like it was general conversation, but I started realizing that it wasn't general conversation for everybody. So it was just like, oh, you see something else. Well, let me let you know real fast. That ain't happening. I will walk out of here before I pay anybody's bill. You be the one back there busting some subs for sure. But I'm just saying that, like I said, that was years ago. But I just remember, like, when you said money, I was just wondering what you might have been thinking. But I do think that a lot of guys think that females are out here for money. And there are females out here like that. There are some.
But not all.
Gold digger. I guess that's what you call a gold digger, right?
Or something. For me, I think a misconception might be the fact that because I am single as a Black woman, especially in the DMV area, it's like, oh, well, you should be wanting to date me. No, I shouldn't.
Because, like you're desperate or something.
Yeah, like, dude, I'm not desperate. I can do good all by myself.
I can do bad by myself, and I can do real good, right?
That part, you're not gonna come in here and drag me down. No, especially when now we're like healing and we're intentionally healing, and so that energy you're trying to bring to me, I don't.
No, thank you. Yeah, I don't have to. I don't have to. For why? Like my godson say, for why? For why? For why? We won't. Yes. No. But no, that's true. You do get some out here that think that crumb's supposed to make you be like, what's up, baby? Yeah. What? No. Who do? And listen, if you got somebody doing that and you giving her nothing, you better hold on to that joint. If that's where you want to stay, like if that makes you happy, hold on tight.
Yeah, I can admit that, back in the day, I might have, right? Because that's before the healing, that's before the self-awareness, that's before like, nah, but now you more secure, no.
But you know what though? One thing I will say, realizing that I'm more of an empath than I thought. It sucks a little bit. Okay. Because I thought I was tough. Okay. So I didn't think that I was like sensitive and shit. But I do take on people's stuff. I feel what other people feel, especially if I vibe with you, I fuck with you, I feel your shit. So sometimes they gravitate to us for that reason. And I don't know, but sometimes I feel like I am my brother's keeper. So, like, I am supposed to show you the way. I am supposed to be an example. I am supposed to let you feel what unconditional love is. That's what I'm supposed to do for you. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you don't know what to do with it, shame on you.
You can't do
No,
that. Right.
Okay.
We
I think
have a
that's
project manager. I can't be no more.
No, we not.
I
We
can't.
not. I ain't talking about build the boo. You know, I'm not talking about like that. Yeah, I can't. I'm not talking about like, you know.
Well, how do you determine with the statement that you did? How do you determine who you love up on in that way and support and be his keeper and blah 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 versus someone else? Is it just the person that you vibe with
Versus someone that I can't do it for or won't do it for?
Yes, that you won't do it for.
I feel like I'm gonna try to probably do it for almost everybody.
That's what I thought you were saying.
I'm gonna probably try to do it at least initially. Initially, I'm gonna try to probably do it for everybody. I'm learning. I'm learning.
So,
All right.
Okay.
Let's
Bring it
on in.
Bring it on in.
let's know for real, when we realize that we do create other people's shit, and I'm speaking directly to the empath in that,
Mm-hmm.
we have to set the boundary of reciprocity.
Yes.
Like, it has to be reciprocated from the other person. And I do a lot of womb work, womb healing, and all that stuff. I connect with the womb first. So that's just going to be my answer to everything. Your womb will give you the answers of who to and who not to fuck with. Like, on any level. Whether it's a person you dating or a good girlfriend. Your womb will be that answer for you to, no, this person does not deserve us. No, let's move on over. Okay, this person deserves the unconditional love. But not everybody that taps into this light. Because you're a magnet. And what we have to do is realize, okay, I'm sucking in this person that do not deserve me. So I have to now be strong enough. The empath in me has to now
Put that love on myself.
exactly
Turn that energy inward.
If it's not being reciprocated,
No, you're absolutely right.
it cannot be every single person because it depletes us. And it
Absolutely.
takes energy from us that we are required to have stored up for those that need us to be whole. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn that the hard way. Not to say that my grandmother doesn't deserve a lot of me, but she can't get 100% of me. I can't give 100% of myself to one person, especially when there are hundreds of people that can give some of them to the same cause.
Yes, I feel
You know, so when it comes down to setting the boundary, like, it's necessary.
Yes, that's what I was talking about with the boundary.
Necessary.
Absolutely.
We cannot give don't.
So this is what I will say. When I say unconditional love off the break, I'm not talking about I'm intimate with. I'm not talking about like that. I'm talking about like I'm probably trying to bless you before I curse you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to go that route. I used to be the one that I was the one. You gonna know exactly where she coming from, how she feel off the break. You ain't got a question because you gonna know because she gonna tell you. But I started to I was hurting a lot of people because I can take it like that. I can take it straight up. Everybody can't take it straight up. So because I had to start to be a little bit aware of that because I was hurting people who I thought I was helping because I was telling the truth, but they couldn't receive it the way that I was giving it. So I had to start to kind of turn it around. But I will say, when it started to water me down or I realized that it wasn't being reciprocated or appreciated, then it's like, oh, okay, I see. Now I can go focus on myself. I gave you what I was supposed to. I put the seed. I did exactly what I was supposed to do. That's on you now. That's how I am still learning to set firmer boundaries. But I will say that I was the girl who thought everybody felt the way I felt, thought the way I thought. I was expressing myself all the time. Yeah, right. I'm gonna be like, damn it, man. I thought I had this. I'm all by myself. You know, but I realized that, so I had to kind of learn how to pull back and be able to meet people where they are. But then that also made me realize that when I started to feel that heaviness and I started to feel that draining, I was like, okay, that's it. I don't lose sleep over nothing. If something makes me lose sleep, I gotta cut it out. I realize that because you have to be able to have peace to sleep. When you're not at peace, you're not sleeping. And if a person is bringing shit to me that I can't sleep over, it's not yours. Yep, that's it. So I'm that, and that's where I am. I feel that more and more now. I can instantly be like, oh, listen, we're not going down that road. And I can nicely just pull myself. I was just telling Hope earlier, like I'm learning to say no, and I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. No, I'm not gonna be able
I
to do
got in
that.
a stuck no place.
Mm-mm.
I was at a place where I didn't learn.
You
I
said
had
no to
I
everything.
had to relearn yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
I
I respect it though. I respect that. I respect that. Life's about balance.
No, for real, because it had me to a place where I was blaming everybody else around me for not. Well, Dad, why I'm not invited to this or invited to that? Or why I don't.
You like, hold up.
What's going on? It's because I created this pattern of no, and I feel like, not getting an invite is also protection as well. I pray for protection. So if I'm not invited somewhere, I'm not meant to be.
Rejection is God's protection.
Yeah, disappointment is protection. So when it comes down to me doing a self-reflection, it's like, you created this. You continue to tell people no every time they ask you to do something or go out.
Oh,
So-
okay. I got you.
now you have to create an open space where you can, I'll go.
They're like, she ain't gonna come, so
That
that's
was
it.
always the consensus. She's not gonna come, so don't invite her.
Right, so yeah.
Mhm.
Who
So-
wanna keep hearing you tell them no?
Exactly. Relearning the word yes, it actually helped me be a little bit more vulnerable with myself.
Yeah.
Because I was saying no with this whole protection.
Yes, I
have
get
to protect
it.
myself. No, they drain me too much, and I feel too many people energy. I'm too sensitive and all of that.
Yep.
But once I build up enough strength, it's like, okay, now I don't have nowhere to go. I don't have nobody to be around.
Oh,
You
with my
know,
friends.
with my family.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I cut all of them out.
Oh.
But when it came down to now in my cousin's chat, now I do stuff that involves myself because I'm strong enough to take any and everything all the energy that they come with. But when it comes down to even dating somebody, it's like either I'm an open door, I'm all the way open or I'm all the way shut. So I'm trying to learn a balance to be able to date somebody without feeling like, you the soulmate, you the twin flame, but being casual about it. So
It's not easy.
I'm trying to find that balance.
I
Yes and no.
I don't know.
Giving somebody a chance.
I don't know if I can find a balance. I've been trying to eat prayer and a lot of meditation. But I feel you. But you know what I can appreciate? I can appreciate finding the balance. I can appreciate going from one end to the other and learning, like, okay, when is enough for me?
Yeah.
When do I start to pay attention to what my body might be saying, what my God might be saying, what my womb might be saying, my gut might be saying, my heart might be saying? Because sometimes you may have to lean a little more in your logic. And then sometimes you gotta lean a little bit more with your heart, you know what I mean, or your emotions. It's just, it's like knowing when to hold them and when to fold them. Like, and you learn that based on your experiences if you're paying attention and we're open to taking the lesson. Cause like, you said I was always yes or no, and I'm over here like I was always like rah, and now I'm like, oh, okay, I ain't gotta say nothing. I won't say anything. I'll just leave it alone.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yes. All right. Anything else on that top? All right. Well, let's move right along. What is an unspoken feeling that you as a Black woman have seen that lacks understanding? I think we kind of touched on this already, but what is an unspoken feeling that you have felt or have seen that lacks understanding in dating and society? What do you think lacks understanding when it comes to us in dating? That we always mad, or we always got an attitude, or that we got a smart mouth all the time. Like sometimes it'd be like, well, did I ask for that? Did I prompt that? What did I do? But
Or control. I think someone said something about control earlier, and I really, really struggle with that. I'm doing a lot better now. But before I started this whole journey, I had to know what it is. I would meet somebody and I'd be like, so what's your intentions? Like, what we doing? And I'm like, dang, I just met you. Like, what the hell? And in my mind, it's like I need to kind of prepare to where this is going instead of just letting God and it be led in that way. And then I just figured I need to take a step back because this isn't working in a way that's beneficial for anybody because now I'm just frustrated. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, Chanel, what are you doing? So, I think control is a big thing because you don't necessarily realize you're trying to control the situation until you see the output of it. It's like, then you could have took your hands off that. You ain't had no control over that at all. What are you doing, right? And so, I think for me, it's like you want to hold on to the things that you can hold on to, but that line gets so blurred as to what it is that you really should be holding on to, and which you should just
be letting go.
Yeah, because you don't leave room for God to do anything.
That part, Chanel, that part.
And it
you
took
can't
some
control.
time
You
for
can't
me
control
to learn
anything.
that, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was hard. I still have moments.
It's okay. You
when
grew
I'm
up in a very structured home. Listen, give yourself a break. Okay? Give yourself a break. Well, it was probably very, as far as some of the foundational shit that some people don't even have.
Right.
That shit was solid. So you used to stability. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Fuck that. Your mama did good. Okay? But it does, when it goes to the extreme, it does become a level of control. And when you can't, we only can control ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We have to leave the rest up to God. But when we tap into ourselves, we're able to do that. But I feel you completely. That's why I'm like over here trying to figure out if I have like what am I trying to control, or if I have like codependency issues. This codependency thing got me like stuck. I'm like, I really need to figure this out. But I feel you on the control because I think that speaking of coins and money, I think that me just being honest, I think that if I get disappointed with something emotionally, I'll go put my focus in that. And it's like, that's how I get my oomph back. Like, yeah, fuck with me now. You know what I'm saying? I saw this meme that said, you break a Gemini's heart, they fuck around, become a CEO of a company or something. I'm like, that's true. Like, it's like we use that power, that pain is like power. I try to tell everybody that. But I'm like, is that something that makes me feel like I'm in control? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't want to feel like I'm in control because of something that could easily be gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel you.
I understand that.
You know what I'm saying? Because
you have to shift I think it's more about shifting the focus on the pain versus, because some people wallow in it and they can't do nothing after that. Like, you get your heart broken and it's like, what am I gonna do now with the rest of my life, right? And so I think it's kind of a catch-22. It's all about balance.
There it is again.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with using it to fuel something positive, right? And I'm not saying go out here and be a workaholic and forget everything else, but I think it could be beneficial.
It could be healthy. Absolutely. No, I totally agree. But I just want to make sure that I'm finding that that balance, I guess, where it's like, well, because I feel like when I come across some resistance now, I realize okay, well, that means I'm not supposed to put my energy too much further into that. Like, here's my boundary now. Let me go take this extra energy that I want to put into this and put it over here. And I'm usually happier with that, or more at peace, I guess I'll say. But I don't want it to become something that I feel like I find security in, because I feel like it's tangible. And I want more security in the untangible things. I'm sorry, I sound like a preacher now. But that's who I am, you know what I'm saying? I want security from the stuff that you can't put your hands on.
What was the original question?
Shut up, Hope! Not your friend.
I'm
not your friend.
What was it again?
So it was kind of similar.
Lost on control.
Right, I was
like, when they control what you can control. And I didn't kind of,
So it was kind of similar to the unspoken feeling that we as Black women is that lacks understanding in dating or in society. I think we started talking about we got smart mouths and we got attitudes and stuff, and then they went over to control. But
Okay.
My bad.
what do you think people misconcept about us? Or what is the misconception?
That all black women are hurt. That they're walking around hurt. It's always like who hurt you? You know, and okay, everybody may have had a heartbreak in their life or a situation or whatever, but it's not who hurt me. It's my boundaries now that I have set of what I'm gonna tolerate and what I'm not gonna tolerate.
There it
So
is.
don't see me as because I have boundaries of how for myself of who hurt me or you hurt. No, I'm not hurt. I'm good. But again, it's my boundaries that they can't accept.
But see, like we were saying, that says more about them than it does about you. You know what I mean? Because why you got a problem with my boundaries?
Yeah.
Why you trying to violate my boundaries?
But it's
Why do my
they
boundaries
always
make you
think
feel
black
some
women
type
are
of
hurt.
way? You should just be focusing on trying to bring them down, or making me feel safer. You know what I'm saying?
You know, who hurt you?
I be looking at these joints, be like, who hurt you?
Right.
That part.
Who hurt you? Your mama, your first baby mama,
Or the second one.
this right? Maybe even the third one. You know, like let's be clear. You know what I'm saying? While you asking me, what boundaries have you set, sir? Why you over here trying to violate mine?
Yes.
I feel you, Shanique. That was good. That was real good. Like, don't get it
My
twisted.
answer to that would be sex, because I feel like as women in general, not even just as black women when dating, I feel like it's a unspoken expectation to casually have sex. And the last time I had sex, the break in between that was 535 days.
Not 535. Y'all know, right?
But y'all, it was not even a counting of the days until I broke it. I was like, yo, but
How long has it been?
How long was I? Because at this point, it was by force, not even by choice. You know, like that I'm not meeting someone that's even worthy of me having sex with.
Right,
So
right,
it's
right.
like, okay, it is what it is. And I got a new place. I got my room all set up. I ain't had no company. Like, what is going on? But when I did meet somebody, it was like, it was that one person that I knew from back in the day. He was familiar. It was a comfortable spirit. And even still, after having sex with him, it was just like, yeah, you know you wasn't supposed to have sex. Still wasn't time. Or, you know, he still wasn't even worthy. But I feel like because we knew each other, because there was history there, because the expectation was... Even for me, I was like, well, you owe up. We always fall back. You owe up. We're going to make this happen. Like, why didn't we do it then? But we going to do it next.
Always fall back.
You know, and the familiar was so disappointing. But you know what I'm saying? It was just not what I should have been doing. And I knew that. But it was like, this is the next step. Like even with marriage, this is what we're supposed to do next, right?
You know, it's unfortunate.
We're having time, we're laughing, we're talking, we're drinking, now comes sex.
It's unfortunate that like we got into that point where like sex has become so expected for nothing. Like we give away the most priceless thing we got for nothing.
Yes.
And then sometimes you don't even get a nut.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What are we doing this for?
Most times.
I can't.
Most times.
I can't. I call me spoiled or whatever, but that I can't. If I'm sorry, you're gonna have to figure it out, baby, and you're gonna have to make that your goal every time, at least one time. Otherwise, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Because
that should be your
women,
goal.
We're so busy trying to please all the time and making sure they get theirs. It's like most women that I've come across in healing, they
gonna get theirs regardless. That's how I feel.
But they gonna get theirs regardless. Most women that I've come across, I mean, even in their 30s, don't know what it is to have an orgasm.
You're right.
And it has had children. You know,
I feel you.
I know my grandmother was telling me a crazy story for her to have 4 children and say the man that she met after her husband, that was really the true love of her life, is the first time she had an orgasm.
Wow.
After 4 children. And then as I started to do work, I met women that had the same experience. Like, yeah, I didn't know what an orgasm was until
I've heard that. I've heard a lot of women are not having an orgasm or not coming regularly with who they're having sex. I'm sorry. I feel like I was coming in high school.
I'm sorry. Take me
I
off.
mean, shit. Like what? I get. No, it does happen.
Like
it does happen.
Sex is that unspoken.
And that's what I was thinking with the money situation. Because sometimes they feel like if they gonna pay for something, they buying some eggs.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you not fucking, then you pay the bill.
We're not having a good time just to have a good time. We're having a good time because you're gonna get me at the end of the night. Like, no. No. That's why, like you said, when you said pay for a date, I'm willing to go Dutch. Any date I go Dutch.
That's fine.
I'll pay for my drinks, my meal.
That's
my
fine.
food. I'll pay for all of that.
Yes, that's how I feel.
Yeah, I'm
That's
right
fine.
there. I'll move there, whatever it is. I'll meet you there. But I'm not going to
I
be
totally agree.
expecting anything.
Right. That's the part that I don't understand is that expectation. It's like, oh, and why do you think that? And then for me, it's more when you do express yourself, it's more of, oh, you want to have an argument, or you want to, or you got an attitude, or you always ruin the mood, or you change the energy because I said something to you, because I asked you a question. Boy, bye. And that I don't like that, and I will say that's a misconception that I don't like. It's like when you do try to have a conversation to find some understanding, or you do express what you like or what you may not like, it's like you are offending them, or you should be talking to them nicer or something. It's like, I'm not cursing you out. I asked you a question like a grown adult. Like, what do you mean? So that I don't like that. That's what I am. What else? What else is a misconception about us in this world of dating?
This falls into that category.
Mm-hmm.
But like what we are supposed to be doing because we are women.
Okay.
Does that fall into that?
Yeah, like dish, like gender roles, like dishes and washing clothes and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like gender roles.
I
Lisa,
like
what you think?
I feel I could do any and everything.
Hey, you damn sure can, and so can he.
So I love to mow my lawn.
Okay.
My neighbor would come outside and would ask me, "Where's your husband?"
She an old lady.
Yeah.
That's why. She like, you're not supposed to be doing this.
She's trying to protect you. That's love. That's love.
I get both sides.
Right.
I told
You like, bitch, I'm alright.
this is what I love doing, and it brings me peace.
Mm-hmm.
Why
That's
are you
your
continuing
thing.
to
You like, leave me
ask me?
alone.
Yes, this is my thing, and I love doing it. So
That's definitely a misconception.
I like
You
it.
don't see that often. I mean, I was just talking to one of my friends the other day about because I am single, I have to do everything in my house unless I pay somebody, right?
Right.
And so I said, when I do decide to date and be with somebody or whatever, I don't want to take the trash out no more.
Damn straight.
That's just
I like
something that I don't like to do.
Mhm.
However, I like my house to be clean.
I can do
if
it.
got to the point where it was like, okay, this is not their strong point, then I would do it.
Right.
But I would prefer to have a man that, in that regard,
I feel you.
is catered to this gender role.
Exactly.
I don't want to have to pay nobody to cut my grass no more. I feel like I don't want to cut my grass, but if he's not going to physically go out there and cut the grass, I feel like at this point you should pay somebody to cut the grass.
That I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't have to still pay to cut the grass no more. And I mean, those are just a few of the things. I don't mind cleaning. I don't care about cooking, but I will. We're not going to starve. But,
We're gonna eat.
I would prefer to clean. So, I don't know still how I feel about gender roles. I feel like sometimes you should exercise your strengths, whatever that is. So you like to mow the lawn. Okay, maybe he likes to cook better. Like, it just depends on what.
Some men are great cooks.
Exactly. So whatever their strength is, I feel like it should be done.
Yes.
Now if we both have strong points, like we both like to clean or we both like to cook,
It's gonna be a
then
good time.
we take turns,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's not you do this all the time. So I don't know about gender roles. I just don't want to be under a car. I don't want to be cutting the grass. And I don't want to have to take the trash out. I mean, how hard is that?
I feel you. I feel you.
I just don't want. I was raised in the household with my mom, and she always said, never make anybody feel like you need them.
Right.
So I think I strive. I took that.
You like, nigga, I got this, okay?
Yeah.
Whether you
So-
here or not.
Right.
I feel you.
So
I like a mesh of it all. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm okay with cooking and cleaning and washing clothes. You know that I've never washed anybody else's clothes, like a grown human's clothes. So maybe that I don't know. You may need to wash your own clothes. But I don't mind doing most of the womanly things. I don't mind gender roles, but I do think it's sweet for him to cook dinner every now and then, or for you maybe to take the trash out, or let him know that you capable of taking the trash out. Or you got a woman who is just like oblivious to some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some men may feel like that makes them feel needed, but I feel like a true man, he gonna find that attractive when he know you got it. But I'm gonna do it for you because I can and I will, and you don't have to. But I love the fact that you can, or I love the fact that you will. You know what I'm saying? You're not too prissy to take the trash out, or you know what I mean? So I'm okay with gender roles, but I do like to switch it up every now and then just for a little spice or just to be appreciated. I think it's a nice gesture to make somebody feel appreciated when you take a certain task off their plate.
Right. Agreed.
I really like the way you say just exercise your strengths.
Yeah. Some women aren't cookers and they marry men who cook phenomenally. It's like God put them together so he knew. He knew. You know what I mean? So I like it. I like a little melting pot of it all. Anything else on misconceptions or misunderstandings? I think we covered quite a bit.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Is this considered a misconception regarding communication? I know before we started, I was saying how for a long time I just didn't feel expressed in certain relationships. So, do you think that? You probably shouldn't ask the question, but do you think that communication could be a misconception among Black women? Just how we articulate certain things to our partners,
Yes,
and so on and so forth.
Yes.
I mean, minus the attitude part, because I feel like that's a different dynamic. Sometimes you can just say something and it may not come off like an attitude, but it's not that warm and fuzzy that they may need at that particular moment, right? Your intention is not to have an attitude or come off in a aggressive type way, but sometimes frustration, the day at work, so on and so forth, can kind of paint that picture. And how do you address that if that is a misconception?
I say that a lot of women are like now because we do have to take on so much are dominant. So it comes across aggressive. Not that she means to be aggressive, but you take on a lot. Like us as Black women, we take on a lot. So not with communication.
I feel like finding the root of it too. You know, like why is it that it's coming across aggressive if it's not meant to be, or if that's not your intention? Why is it that you have? It could very well be a guard that you have, or a trigger or something.
Right.
You know?
That's what I heard when you said it.
Yeah, like it's something that's triggering that you may need to even do some internal work with. Like, I feel like with our men, they are so used to their mothers being more than mothers.
Right.
So when it comes to them being in a relationship with a woman, it's like they expect way more of us when it comes to pleasing them outside of the bedroom. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you have to be so much more, and especially for men that live in that whole housewife gender role, you have to cook, clean, and do all of this. I feel like being in a relationship, that's why I'm so against the whole traditional union, to so to speak, because for men to go to work, make the bread, and you cook it, or whatever that saying is, like it has to be the person wanting to do it. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not expecting it of them, but they want to do it, then that's gonna be a happy house. Like, you know, you shouldn't have to tell somebody to take out the trash if they live in a house where they contributing to the trash.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you shouldn't even have to come out your mouth and say, I don't want to have to take trash out anymore, because this man is going to automatically gravitate to that energy from you. You know?
Right. Exactly.
But I feel like even with the communication thing, it's something that we have to get a grasp on with why we are delivering the way that we're delivering. you know, like having a filter within ourselves to be like was that hard? Was that a little harsh? Like I yelled at my mother for sending me a picture of my grandmother. And after yelling at her, like, why did you send me that? Why did you send me that? You know I'm at work, blah, 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 blah. Afterwards, I had to say, Shanita, she just wanted you to know. She needed you to know. Like, so just because you couldn't handle it, and you would have got mad if she didn't send it to you. So where's your line? You know, so it's like why I had to apologize for responding and reacting the way that I did because it was a very vulnerable space that she touched. So if they touch in a space where it's no touching there, you can't go there yet.
Yeah.
I'm not secure in that space yet. You can easily pop off and say something to hurt a man's feelings.
Right. And as far as communication for me right now, I'm having to treat everybody on a case-by-case basis because I'm going to be recognizing other people like who might be doing their own work. And so not just a male that I'm trying to be in a romantic type relationship with, but just males who are my friends. But wait a minute, that man over there, he understands me. We have great conversations.
So right.
We can communicate.
Yes.
So let me go over here. Now, why can't I communicate with him?
Right.
I mean, you always trying to gaslight me. And that's what that is right there. Like, I'm really taking it and breaking it down even for the women in my life, right? So once you start to recognize those things, then it's like, all right, that wasn't really me.
Yes.
Maybe that was me.
Yes.
That was playing a little bit with you. But then it's like, because y'all not going to send me to the crazy house.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say. I was going to say it's probably a little bit of a balance. This might sound cliche, but this is why I just pray all of my relationships for the most part, I was friends with somebody, so I really got to know them on a friend level where I just liked them as a human. So we were able to communicate. Communication was easy. You know what I'm saying? So it was for a relationship. You always can revert back to your friendship when things got a little tough. When you don't like a motherfucker, it don't matter what they say, they gonna probably irritate you. So like Shanita was saying, like kind of tapping in to see what's triggering you, and then kind of just owning that and saying, listen, I'm sorry, whatever. But then like to add to what Hope was saying, sometimes it's they shit.
Right.
They in their feelings about their own shit. You could say, hey baby, how was your day? What you mean, how was my day?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you be like, damn, like who hurt you?
Somebody tried to ask me the other day, are you still mad at me? I said, wait, when was I ever mad at you? I have to go back and read the text message like, when did I
Wait a minute. It's 2020.
Why am I in military time like this?
Mark is 2020 on the clock. Let me tell y'all, God is good, okay? Listen, I'll be quiet. I was just sitting right here and something. Y'all don't understand, but
How confirming that was.
Yeah.
For me too.
whoo, Jesus.
I saw her for the while. I was like,
This happens to me all day, every day. But for that, first of all, the fact you got military time on your phone. That's the first part, okay? That's the first part. The second part is you picked it up in that moment and it said 2020. See, I get chills on stuff like that, y'all. But okay, let me move south for a second. Come back down to earth, Kessa. Okay, if I can stay out of the 5D. All right. Okay. Yes, that was great. I like that. That was good. But yes, balance. But I feel you what you're saying. But I do think communication is hard to get out of a lot of guys these days.
Yes.
Conversation, it's like who can be mute the longest. It's like a fucking competition. Who can shut up the fastest? It's like, and I be like, we don't have to do this.
Yeah.
If you're not happy, you don't like this, you don't have to do this. Who showed you that you had to do this? What the fuck? Like, whoa, I'm like, listen, it's okay, because I can talk to myself. Okay? It's interesting. But that's where that work is not being done. And like I said, when you are doing the work, you a lot of times are going to attract people who like it or who are trying to do it themselves. So sometimes we got to learn, like you said, who to give into and who not. But people got to be wanting to show up for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, child.
And I think now it's like just trying to figure out early on is this person trying to show up for themselves? Like,
I know.
I want to know quick, Lord.
I know.
I want to know real quick, Lord.
But you know
I
what?
don't
I don't have time to waste,
You
Lord.
know what, Ho? I'm gonna tell you what
Golly.
he told me recently was, I want to see what you gonna do when you don't know. I want to see if you gonna trust me when you don't know. I want to see if you gonna sit for a while with it if you don't know. I want to see. I want to see what you gonna do when you don't know. That came across. I was like, okay. That came across like a couple weeks ago, and so I've been sitting in this space, and I'm like, because you don't know.
You don't know.
And sometimes you gotta, but that's where the boundaries and that tapping into your gut and all of that, realizing like, okay, here's the limit I'm gonna have to set with this, because this has come up a couple times, and I don't like it when I go over there. So let me just step back a second. And what am I going to trust? What am I going to set a boundary on? What am I going to allow to happen before I move? Okay. But I feel you, but yes, it's like when you don't know, you do want to know quickly. It's like, why you want to know quickly? Why you can't enjoy the journey?
Because some of them I don't know if I should be journeying with.
Well, then maybe you got to cut it off, right?
And then the discerning spirit, you got to be like,
no,
hey,
you're
hey,
right. Discernment is
yes, that part.
that part. Honey. Yes, y'all. This is good stuff. All right, we can keep it moving right along. If anybody got anything else you want to add, Tanya, Tia, Vita, Risa. We got celebrity bartender in the building, y'all. Yes. Sorry, move on to the next one.
Water.
Water is good. H2O is good for you. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Okay, moving on. We got two more. Provide two things you would suggest to your sons or daughters before dating a Black woman.
Patience.
Okay, patience.
And let me think 1 second.
I like understanding. I
I
heard
was gonna say,
understanding.
I was gonna say understand.
I heard understand because when you understand, it's easier to be patient.
Yes.
You can show up better, but yes, understanding. Escape told us a long time ago. You know, what I need from you is understanding. I think understanding goes a long way, and I feel like who's better to understand them than us, and who's better to understand us than them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll say understanding.
So loving yourself. Self-love. You love yourself.
Yes.
You be secure in yourself, so you're not projecting stuff onto other people unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Treat people how you want to be treated.
Yes.
Yeah. They like, what that mean?
That is definitely one of the biggest things my grandmother teaches me is to, she said it all my life, to treat people how you want to be treated. And I didn't really understand the impact of that until I got older. But understanding that, karma is real, good karma and bad karma. And whatever you put out, whatever your intention is, like I work for an airline. Working in the airport, I come across hundreds of people a day. My coworkers can choose to be nasty, be petty, charging people for 3 pounds over 50. Like, it's all about treating people how you would want to be treated. So if I'm coming in the airport, rushing, trying to hurry up and get to my plane, I really don't want to be badgered about unnecessary things.
Right.
When things are under your control, like I leave the airport feeling so much gratitude because I've made multiple people's days.
Yes.
From just the little things that
that's a stressful situation. For a lot of people can be.
So when it comes down to telling my son, like, first of all, we digging into childhood trauma. He's 19. What has happened up in from these 19 years? Mm-hmm. Let's dig through this now, so you won't have to have nobody's daughter that you think you got to take it.
That's right, mama.
Later on, because, and also going into respecting a Black woman for who she is and what she's worth automatically. Yeah. For no matter what she does, what she says, regardless. But putting her where she belongs, first and foremost. Because I think a lot of women, young women these days, don't have enough respect for themselves And what our children are doing is like love for them is beating up each other in a relationship. And
Yeah.
it's got so commercialized.
It's
and everybody
toxic.
just abusing their spouse. It's
It's
just so
weird.
nasty. But
It's weird.
for your
That shit
children to
weird.
understand from you that what self-love is and what loving somebody else really is. You know, because
I
they
like
say they beat each other up and they love each other and they have babies with each other. Like it is so toxic what they're seeing. You know,
Yes.
the image of love for them. So for us to reiterate to our children, our sons and our daughters, you know, like she said, first of all, loving yourself, but respecting a Black woman for who she is first and foremost
Gotcha.
is the message to my Black boy.
I hear you. I hear you. What else would we tell them? I tell my son, just be friends with people, and whoever's supposed to be more than your friend, you'll be able to. They'll just fall right into that place. You won't have to look for them. You won't have to try to make it happen. You just look up and be like, "You my girl," and that day will be your anniversary. Like that. That's it. Like it will just happen. You don't have to try to make anything happen. Whoever's for you will just show up, and she'll be there, and you'll just realize it. That this is who it is, because it'll just, you know what I mean. I just tell him, and it seems like it's working, so we're doing all right, you know. But I that's one other thing. Like I said, understanding, patience, self-love, or loving yourself, or treating somebody how you want to be treated. Yeah, there's a lot of it's that's Kendrick has a song on his album. I forget what it's called, but it's him and the girl arguing. I can't even listen to the song. It's so bad. It's so they literally curse each other out bad, like bad. She told me he got a little dick. She should have fucked his friend and his cousin. And the chorus is "fuck you, bitch." No, fuck you, nigga. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, nigga. That's the whole chorus. And I have to skip it. And I love Kendrick. That's my boo. But and at the end of the song, they start fucking. And at the beginning of the song, he said, "This is what America sounds like."
That's it. That's
And
it.
I'm like,
That is it.
I said, I can't imagine. I said, life's too short for
Image
that.
of your
I had more
relationship.
peace with my goddamn self than to be dealing with that for some dick. I tell niggas all the time, ain't nobody stingy with no dick. Okay? Everybody giving away dick for nothing, for no reason. No reason. No reason. They like, no, I respect my dick. I don't get my dick away. No. You want some dick? I got give me what. Sorry, I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm saying I know there are some men out there that do respect their jumps. They are the exceptions, okay? The exceptions. Right. How about that? But I mean, like, if all you offering is dick, it's like, boy, there's a plethora of dick out here now.
Some men think that's all they're supposed to offer.
Ooh, that's
The entitlement
I'm
of
like,
it.
come on.
that's all they supposed to offer. Cause I got this dick. I got this dick. You gonna pay my bills? I got this dick. I don't know, but you know, there's some joints out here that's all they need, I guess. I'm like, damn. I'm like,
You're right. Some of them be like, I just need.
Yeah, right. I need more than dick.
Never. I can't
Dick is
relate.
great.
I
I need dick too, but that ain't it.
I can't relate
I
to
don't need it.
That ain't it.
I
Yeah,
want it, but
I'm
I don't need it.
Well, not
I
need.
don't need it.
I feel you. Not needed. I shouldn't say needed, but sex is important to me, so I do want it to be something I enjoy and an important part of my relationship. But it's not all. Sex is a lot more mental, you know what I'm saying, emotional. It's better that way for me. I prefer emotional with my sex, like TLC, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, if that's it, sometimes it don't even be fulfilling when it's like, boy, please. And they be thinking sometimes they be doing something. You be like, you be like, what do we, who, like I said, if she good with that, whoever you giving that to, and she all right, you might want to keep that joint. You might want to hold on tight, okay? No. All right. Let's see. What else we want to tell our kids about dating or before dating a Black woman? Respect. I heard respect too, Shiggy, you said.
Just taking your time.
Take your time.
it goes back to them titles and expectations. Take
Yeah.
your time.
Yeah.
They ain't gotta be your boyfriend, your girlfriend.
Yeah, no,
It's
shut
my
up.
friend.
Yes, exactly.
It's just my friend.
Exactly. I agree. Anything else on that topic? Okay, moving right along. Last one. How important is it to have support from other Black women in dating, and how does accountability? How does that accountability support help? So, like, is it important to have support from other women when you're dating, and how does that accountability support help, or how does that support from other women help you? This came from a question that was asked to the gentleman, because it says basically that men think that women often think men give each other passes on poor decisions or bad decision making or poor behavior. We tend to think that they give each other passes on stuff, or they look out for each other. So how important is it to have support from another woman, and how does that support actually help you be accountable or whatever? Is that the y'all?
Now, first of all, in a lot of cases, I feel like they really do give passes. I don't think they pull them their coattails once they get in the private setting. I don't. In a lot of cases, I do believe there are some men who have that accountability, but I see how their friend circles move. There's something about the way they do. I think I've provided more support and accountability to some of my male friends. Like, yo, you shouldn't be treating her like that. That was foul. Like, what you thinking, yo? Chill out for 3 months. Maybe you don't need to mess with women right now. Like, you wilding out. That's crazy to me, right?
Right.
So but again, I don't know about all men, but a lot of them I do see. But for me, as far as my women friends, it's like, hey, just let me know, because I did X, Y, and Z. Was I tripping? Should I have to handle it in a different way? And even to my male friends, I might go to and say, hey, so now from y'all's point of view, because we are obviously from different planets, we think a little different.
Yeah.
So to tell me, so I do appreciate the accountability from them. Yeah, I appreciate it. I like it.
I think it's important to have female friends that are not fuck that nigga base.
Yeah.
Like niggas ain't shit. To be able to have accountability or hold you accountable when you are tripping or when you're not being your best self. To be able to say, girl, he's a worthy man that you need to be chilling out. Like, to have that girlfriend that's able to hold you accountable when there is someone that's worthy of you. Mm-hmm. But also, it's a sticky thing for me because you have to have discernment when it comes to women, and it's sad, but it's necessary. Mm-hmm. Because you can't control who a woman was raised by, or what type of trauma her mother instilled in her. Mm-hmm. So even if she doing stuff consciously or subconsciously, she can be leading you in the wrong way. Oh, girl, he ain't doing this or that. Girl, bye. But not even acknowledging what you need to acknowledge in that man.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's important I just always go back to you being the person that you want to attract, whether that's in a female companionship or male companionship. You have to be able to be a reflection, and if somebody not on your wave, if a woman not responding to you the way that you need her to respond to you, and with your relationship with a man, of course it's necessary that you have support. But whether that's, I'm friends with a lot of males, so I got a lot of brothers, and I'm also in a place where I'm like, bro, that is not okay. Like, for you to be in that position, for you to talk to her like that, or for, that's not okay. But I think it's not necessarily necessary, but it's a good bonus. It's good for you to have a woman's perspective when it comes to support in a relationship.
Yeah, I agree.
And not the women that you just can go and talk to about when he's not doing right. Or you can't feel like you got a woman with a safe space where you can tell your woman, your girlfriend, how good he's treating you without feeling like, okay, I don't want to tell her all the good things about my man. I gotta watch her around my man. Right. You just have the freedom of being able to share and express.
Yeah.
And somebody being supportive and happy for you in that sense.
And to add to that, I think we have to do a better job as well as making sure that we do tell our friends some of the good stuff and not always go to them with all the bad shit. Because that often happens. Yeah. We go to them with all the bad shit. So they be like, all they hear is all the bad stuff. And then she be always like, why you still fuck with him? And then you be like, well, damn, I ain't told her nothing good. That just shows, like you said, that mindset. It just shows where we are with stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you. Like you said, even with a friend, you may go to one friend and she'll tell you, "Oh, fuck that," or or "Fuck that nigga," or whatever, and it's because of her own stuff. And she just misery loves company too. You know what I'm saying? So they will send you off so that they can feel good with their stuff too. So you're right. Discernment. We probably need to take discernment a little bit further because it's come up a few times tonight. But no, I agree. You're right. It's like I think it's important to have support when somebody can be honest with you and real with you about what they see. If they seeing that you're down or they're seeing that you're up, they can address both. You know what I'm saying? When you got friends that only address when you down or can only fuck with you when you down, we gotta start paying attention to them. And then when you up or you feeling good, it's like she ain't got nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like she want to make you feel worse.
Right.
So it's like I told you, it's definitely trying just understanding, like you said, who is for you. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of people that aren't, unfortunately, but they just make room for the people that are.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
But I feel you on that. I like that. It's tough because we do. Girl, let me tell you. And then when he over there doing everything right, you side.
You ain't told her nothing.
Right, you side. You over there in La La Land. But I think it's good to have that support. I think it's unfortunate though if you feel like you can't talk to your friends about your dating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You probably got to reevaluate. When you can't really tell them what you're doing. Like I said, when people hide stuff, it's because they already know how you feel about it. Or they already know how you're gonna feel. That's why they hide it, and they try to make it seem like you judging them. No, you judging yourself. You feel some way about yourself. That's why you can't stand in your truth. That's why you can't come to me because you feel some type of way. So it sucks to be in a position where you feel like you can't tell your friends what you really got going on. What else? What else, y'all? What else do we? How else do you feel about having that support? I think it's good to have support from guys too, but definitely from each other. What you gonna say, Tanya?
Yeah, for me, in my circle, I have female and male support.
Mhm.
So, and they can call me on my shit.
Yeah.
So to me, that's important because if I can't even have my own friends calling me on my shit, then who will?
Right.
Because you know how
Right.
sometimes you can you do things over the extreme, but
Right.
you don't want to own up to it.
Yeah.
Because you was on your best bullshit.
Yeah.
You probably on your best bullshit. But you need that one friend to be like, girl, you fucking tripping.
You tripping.
Exactly.
Yes, you
Like,
tripping.
Like, bitch, you know your attitude was a 10 that day.
Well, did you say it like that or did you say it like this?
Right, exactly. And your friends know you.
Exactly. Because I know you.
Right.
Well, look at the good things that he does. You do.
Right.
I think that's important. I do think that's important.
No, it's so
I do think that more guys, like you said, Hope, probably aren't as vocal because they might not be as emotionally intelligent. So they might be on some dumb shit like, oh, nigga, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? But I do think there are some stand-up dudes who be like, you tripping, bro. Like, you got a good one and you over there, like, you lunching. You know what I'm saying? I do think that they exist. Everybody, all of them exist. But, the good ones are just rare. They just rare, you don't come across them too often sometimes.
rare.
Support matters.
Damn straight. Damn straight.
I used to be into acting people outside of my husband.
Right.
Without tripping and stuff. But now I found since we've grown together, matured together, I tend to go to him. Sometimes even with him, I'd be like, okay, I realized when I said X, Y, and Z, I think I was a little bit.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm happy you realized it.
Would you say he's your best friend?
Yes.
Was he your best friend before y'all
No.
got in a relationship or married?
No. We grew together.
Okay.
Whole life.
Okay.
So I'm very appreciative for what we are now.
Good.
But
I like
we
it.
weren't. But now we can ask each other stuff that normally we would not have asked each other in the past.
Okay.
Because either he would have caught an attitude or I would have caught an attitude. And neither one of us know why we catch an attitude. Because it was like, you're not supposed to ask me that.
Oh.
I'm like, why are you asking me that?
Huh.
And it was like we had to come to to a point like, okay, what is getting you there when I ask you this, and why am I getting there?
Why are you triggering?
Because we weren't coming to each other,
Yeah.
and we should have been coming to each other and keeping stuff amongst each other that didn't need to go outside our doors.
Now I have learned more about privacy. And I think there's a difference between being private and being secretive. A secret is kind of like something you're ashamed of or you don't want anybody to know. Private is more like protective. Because you don't want to put everybody's stuff on your stuff. Everybody can't touch all your stuff.
But also, when you're being private, a lot of people think you're being secretive. So
But there's a difference.
it is.
But there is a
lot of people
difference.
think that's the thing.
I mean,
Because, like, for me, I can say I like to keep certain things private amongst myself. But others look at it like, oh, she's being secretive again, or that she doesn't want to tell it, or blah, blah, blah.
Isn't that your right?
huh?
Isn't that your right?
It is your
Right.
right.
Yeah, it is.
But maybe, but it might be.
Yeah, but some people get offended if you don't expose everything that's going on in your life to them.
That comes back to the boundaries.
Definitely.
I think that there's certain people you probably gonna feel more comfortable sharing certain things with, and there's some people you probably you may not feel as comfortable. But I do think it's a difference between being secretive and private. Private is just too much information. Secretive is kind of like it's a little sneaky. It's kind of like you got something to hide. Exactly. It's not, and that's what I'm saying. So maybe somebody may have felt like that in the past with something, and then you can kind of be like, well, why do you feel like I'm? And they may say, well, I may feel because this time it felt like it was a secret, or I found out later it was, you know what I mean? But I understand I understand what you're saying too, because there's it's a little bit of a thin line. I can
There
agree
are
with that.
times it's not like you're withholding information. It's just that sometimes it's just not the appropriate time to speak about it.
Right.
Or maybe you're not comfortable speaking about it at that time. So it's not that you're being secretive. It's just that you're selectively choosing.
I think it's safe to say
when to inform somebody
exactly
what's going on in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's safe to say I ain't comfortable talking about it right now, or I'll tell you later. I think that's especially when you know especially when you know it's somebody who has your best intention. But I get it. I get it because I feel like I've had friends in the past where you may not just feel like you want to talk to me about it, but I also feel like you don't want to talk to me about it because you don't want to hear what I have to say about it, and that's okay. But you can also say, I'm gonna tell you this, but don't say shit. Just shut up. Just shut up.
I don't need your opinion.
I'm not
I
asking.
need you to listen.
Yes, I need an ear. I need a friend right now. I need a sounding board. I don't need your unsolicited advice. That's another thing I had to learn too, was giving unsolicited advice. People don't always want to hear what you have to say or what you think about their shit. And if you feel that way, you have a right to say, I really don't want to hear what you have to say about it. You ain't gotta be lying about, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you are, but I'm just saying if you feel like you just don't want to because you don't want to or you don't feel comfortable, you can say that. And you can be like, I love you, but I just don't want to hear that right now.
I'm not the validator today.
Yeah. I just need you to be an ear. If you can do that, then I can talk. If not, then I ain't got nothing to say.
I used to feel like I need an ear, but don't you know what's the show called with Issa? Insecure. I feel like I am Issa. I will talk to myself because I find out that sometimes I have to say some shit. Now I'll be like,
I'll
that was fucked up. I be finding another way to say it. So I find myself saying stuff to myself in the mirror before I say it out to other people or even in a professional setting.
No, oh my goodness. I be trying to say stuff in my head sometimes.
And it slip out.
It don't stay in long. It don't stay in my head long. I do better, but I feel you. I'm an only child, so I talk to myself. Yep, I'll be in the mirror. I feel yes. But sometimes shit just come out. And sometimes it need to come out the way it came out.
Yeah.
Listen. Because I've learned I have sugarcoated shit trying to be nice and keep it pleased or making sure I don't hurt their feelings or make them feel some type of way. But it's like sometimes you can see through the bullshit. And when you call shit and motherfuckers get offended, I had a friend that she loved when I call shit. She like, bitch, you call that shit like fucking clockwork. Like, you know what I'm saying? She could own it. I got other friends, I call something, it's like, ooh, we not friends no more. It's okay. Yeah, okay. You mad at me because I said something.
Thank you.
You don't not friend no more because I said something.
And I feel like that's not respecting how you felt.
Exactly. And you don't
If you
respect
my
what
friend,
I
you gotta
bring.
respect how
You
I feel.
don't respect what I bring to you. It's some people feel, like I said, you got friends sometimes that when you feeling good, they will be like, oh no, bitch, let me bring you back down here for a second. You know, you be like, why? Like what I do to you? So I yeah. But people are protective of their bullshit. You know, if they want to stay in their bullshit, they will protect that shit like, you know, nobody's business. But I do think you have a right to be private. That's for damn sure. I think sometimes when you're private in your relationship, it just allows you to work things out on your own because nobody is in it like the two of you are in it. You know what I'm saying? We can, on the outside looking in is one thing, but in the details, in the thick of all of it, the details are all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So you just never really know. So I think it is good to be able to try to work through things together if you're in a committed relationship with somebody, to work through those things before you go sharing it with people. Mm-hmm. Anything else y'all want to give to the collective tonight? Any other advice? Any other thoughts? Struggles, strengths, weaknesses, concerns, questions, comments, criticisms? That was good. That was good. I mean, you know, this is what we do.
Yeah.
Okay? For episode number 2.
Okay.
Coming through.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, we thank y'all for joining us. And run them up, break them up. You know. And we'll see y'all next week. Deuces. We did all right. We got started.